What's up? All right, I have had oatmeal and where did I put the batteries? Over there. Okay. I've had some oatmeal. I'm about to have my coffee. I woke up early this morning, 4 o'clock. Roosters are crowing. Did my update 24 for tabletop game went out on Patreon this morning. Spent about 6 hours yesterday. Got a couple of really cool templates for Microsoft Word for DM Guide, Player's Handbook, and Monster Manual. But the problem is they're too. I mean, they were made for people to use to make D&D Beyond official modules. So mostly I wanted it for like the inserts and the tables and stuff like that, um, which have been done. But I have to strip out all of the elements that make it look like an official D&D product because I can't touch anything that's product identity because copyright and all that good stuff. So yesterday was figuring out how to. I use Word a lot, but I've never actually used Word, if that makes sense. I use it as a word processor, not as a tool to put together really cool documents. I did not know what you could do with Microsoft Word. So yesterday was basically going in and reverse engineering things and taking like the elements that they've put together and going into the group options and like separating those out and figuring out what 15 elements went into making this box. So it's if you've ever worked with Photoshop, it's similar to Photoshop in the sense with Photoshop you have layers and you can move things forward and behind and so on and so forth. It's the same thing. It's just a different way of doing it, so I have to learn how they do it in Word because that's how I'm doing this one. I'm not doing it in InDesign. InDesign would be something for later. But for this one, I'm learning how to do it this way. So it's interesting. So today, at some point, the next part of the project is I'm going to take all the artwork that I've gotten from Christina so far and get it into its own separate folder. And then I've got 6 completed from Nathan Napalm. So I can put those into the folder. He's got more in the works right now. I got all the maps in their rough format, and I'm going to place them in, but they don't have POIs yet because I haven't done the POI'd versions of the maps. So that'll come later. But I've got Joey and I were doing the math last night. I think we have around 75 images right now, ballpark. So we'll end up with between 75 and 100 images going into the book, into the tabletop book for yeah. Yeah, it's actually it I didn't know you could do all these things in Word, Will. I really didn't. Oh, it's pretty robust. Like I'm fairly proficient with I say proficient. I'm not a professional, but I am proficient enough to get things done in Photoshop. I've been using it for years for little things. So I know how to do it all there, and I've used GIMP and other products over the years. Um, but the difference with it in it's not as straightforward visually in terms of here's all the tools, here's how to use the tools. You really have to go in and figure out how to do it. And once you do, like there's this whole section of like group format for photos and images so that once you get an image input, you can click on it and then you get another tab that opens up on the top and then you get into that and that'll open it up and then once you have that open you can go in and start adding elements to that image and putting them behind or in front and grouping them or ungrouping them and all this other stuff. It's really interesting the way it's done, but there is a learning curve with learning how they do it versus how Photoshop does it. So that was yesterday for like 6 hours. My brain was fried by the time I got down to the end of it. Morning, Eric. More. I finished up Aliens Fireteam Monday night. I was playing Aliens with Gila from the community, from our Discord community. Gila slash Lance. He and I played that on Monday nights for like the past 5, 6 weeks, but we finished up the main campaign a couple nights ago. And this upcoming Monday, we're going to be playing Sea of Thieves, which I've never played before. He's a big Sea of Thieves fan, but it's we've got Gila and Kel Randron from our community. We're going to be doing Sea of Thieves together on Monday nights. Got room for one more. Nod, nod, wink, wink. But those are going to be happening night times in Central Time. So this morning, I'm going to go back to. I'm going to play a little bit F1 this morning, and then probably switch over to the Ascent. But I started just to learn it a little bit better, I started the career mode in F1 because I got bugged out, not bugged out, so to speak, but a little bugged out on the single player storyline the other day. So I decided to start this career mode, which is a lot like the NBA 2K games and stuff, where you go through and can go through the F2 before you get to F1. This is something I just play for my own relaxation. So I'll probably do a couple races and then I'll switch over to the Ascent and do some sci-fi RPG this morning. Today I've got the Looking for More show at 5 p.m. Central. Chris is going to go visit her mom today, which is in the next town over, about 30 minutes away. So she'll be gone most of the day. She's also going to get some of our stuff that we have in boxes over there. Got some curtains. Got a juicer, juice extractor. A whole bunch of stuff we put out there when we first moved to the city in 2018. We had put a bunch of stuff in storage. So Chris is going to go get some of that stuff today. Another hot day today. It's 38
good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
Celsius. It's gonna be 39 to 40 today. What changes are you talking about, Will? I'm looking at Erigmar's comment.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow.
You've got
Your
all
top
the...
three are Anderson, Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda.
The wokification.
With qualifying
is a good way
complete,
to put it.
all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow. So
I don't know that
sure
there's
you
any
join
changes
us there.
being made to the rules. Although I understand the setting is undergoing some changes under the woke generation. Which that doesn't affect me because the rules are what I'm focused on, not the D&D setting, because we're using it for homebrew.
Welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya here in Spain for what is
If that
expected
makes
to be a
sense.
very closely contested race.
I forgot to turn the volume down in the game here so you guys can hear me a little bit better.
We are nearly ready.
Okay, let's skip through all the boring stuff.
After the points finish last.
By the way, what is the setting to change the point of view? Next camera? So nothing is assigned to the right bumper. I don't think. Oh, yeah, it is radio voice commands. Well, I don't want to screw with anything, but I was very curious if there was a way to do. Oh, I'm never going to use push to talk, ever. So let's unbind that for sure. And let's put next camera here. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up.
Race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
I don't like personally the whole, racial stats, the erasure, I should say, erasure of racial stats. I'm not a big fan. I think the racial stats give you a reason to want to choose. But it does make it easier from a design perspective with our homebrew in that I don't have to worry about creating pros and cons for the different races. I can just, keep them as is. Um, yes, it did, Will, in that you can choose what stats get modified. You get a choice at like level 1, I think, when you're doing character creation, because we just did this recently, and the changes were in Fantasy Grounds. It's something along the lines of you automatically get to just pick which stats get modified for your character, which I think is fine. That's a way to do that. Um, I may still put stats on my characters, on our racials. I haven't decided yet. Because I like racial pros and cons. Like, dwarves are strong, but they suck at dexterity. I think that's fine, but some people are like, that's racist. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to what they release too much. Because I don't really play it. Ooh, that's an interesting POV. You know what, buddy? Get off the track. By the way, I'm not that good at this game without the steering assist on. I tried without steering assist today, and I sucked so bad. I'm okay with that. Like, I play this for my enjoyment, not to be good at it. Oh, I just spit out. I totally just spun out. And I caused a wreck. So even with steering control out on, you can screw up, as you can see. You can still recover if you're not horribly screwed. These are little 5-lap races, so they're really quick and easy. Wait, hold on. I didn't realize Chris was already ready to leave. No, Chris. Tu phone y todo. ¿Tienes cargador? A little bit of morning chaos there. I didn't realize Chris was leaving so early. Let me catch up on chat. Cat's relaxing there. Uh, so my favorite is actually second 2.5, or second edition AD&D, and everything I've ever DM'd up until this past year, has always been that edition, my modified version of that. When I first started working on the Weave in the Void, my brother and I were just going to use my homebrew system and develop it. But when it comes to commercialization of any tabletop products, Wizards of the Coast has everything locked down with so much trademark and copyright that it's almost impossible for you to come out with something that uses D20, the D20 system. And I like the D20 system. I think it works very well. But if you're wanting to use anything that even remotely resembles Dungeons and Dragons, it's all locked down with copyright and trademark. Now, they have offered the open game license, which they've had since 3.5, I believe. But there are so many restrictions under first and second because they're legacy systems. When I started looking at the legal aspects of putting together our own tabletop system or basically our own tabletop system and selling it, there were so many legal restrictions in place and what I couldn't do because of trademarks and copyright that I just said, screw it. I'll just use the open game license for 5th edition, which has made it extremely easy, which is why everyone is using 5th edition. Everyone is using 5th edition for a reason. Because A, it's an easy system to play, and B, because it has the open game license attached in such a way that anyone and everyone can go out there and use the OGL as a basic, and as long as they include that page of legal data in there um, at the end of your book, then you can use the OGL and you can have your setting be based on fifth edition setting rules. It's not a bad way to do things, but so I ended up taking my homebrew rules and said screw it, threw them out the window, and modified everything for 5th edition because it was just going to be easier from a commercialization aspect because we are doing our campaign to be sold for profit, not just to be homebrewed for a bunch of friends around a table. So uh, that's the easiest way to answer that is to answer your question, Will, is just go here. I'm going to drop this link. Just go to the Patreon page because it's hard for me to explain. The basic idea is that we have a oh, and also watch this video. I gotta find it real quick. If you're not in our Discord, Will, you totally should drop by because we do a ton of this stuff in Discord. And let's pull this video. Actually, that's not the one I'm looking at. Where did it go? I did an interview with Nathan Napalm. Yeah, this is the one to watch. So the Patreon link takes you to our Patreon page, which is everything, because we're doing a 5th edition tabletop setting. With the books are coming out in June. Then we have the point and click adventure game, which is coming out later this year. And then we have the book series, which is like Dragonlance. Those chapters are being published every 2 months. Chapter 15 just came out last week. All that info is over on the Patreon page. The interview with Nathan Napalm, which is about 50 minutes long, is a condensed version of an hour and a half interview we did where we dive into what is the Weave in the Void. So if you got 15 minutes, you can watch that video, and it will give you the basics of what our world setting is, and etc. And then Nathan's also doing character art for us. So if you check out our social media pages for the Weave in the Void, you'll find some of his character art. My wife is doing the general concept art, and then he's doing the character art. So yeah, that's why I went with 5th edition, because it was so much easier from a legal perspective. I was going to play Lord of the Rings Online this morning, but they're doing a patch update today, so...
Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 8.5 seconds. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Alright, got that down.
Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant result. Well done.
Alright, back to YouTube. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast is notorious for how much they've locked everything down.
It's the part we've all been waiting for, the podium finish, and it's probably one of the more...
And they aggressively defend their copyrights.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the driver's tape. Anderson increases their championship lead. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver?
All right. Before we take a look at that anymore, let's dive into. Let's see, this week. So one of the things I'm working on today, I'm going to be filming my review of The Hobbit, because I just finished reading The Hobbit. But it's not really going to be a review of The Hobbit per se. It's more of a deep dive into The Hobbit and how there was a bunch of things in there that I didn't remember. And then I actually started reading The Fellowship of the Ring, not last night, but the night before last. I decided not to read last night because I didn't have my notebook with me, and I would much rather be reading it from an analytical standpoint because I'm doing this for the purposes of being able to dissect Rings of Power even more than I already have. And I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start a weekly Lord of the Rings show, where I dive into the notes I've taken reading through chapters, because I'm not going to be trying to plow through the Lord of the Rings. So I mean, it'll probably take me 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe. It just depends on my reading pace. But I'm going to be doing some sort of a weekly. I don't know what I'll call it yet. I already have Monday musings. I can't do another. It'd be great to have like Mondays in Middle Earth, but I mean, I suppose I could do Mondays in Middle Earth and have that be like the show that comes out at like 11 a.m. Central, 7 p.m. Central European time. I could totally do that for next week. And I could start with dissecting The Hobbit and then get straight into Fellowship of the Ring. Anyway, I got a whole bunch of videos to do. I've got why Alex Garland is a brilliant filmmaker. I want to do a video about the soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy because that video game was awesome, and they made their own band for the soundtrack. It's really cool. I still need to do the Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis for my point and click classic series, and I've got a couple of episodes of my sci-fi TV shows series that I want to record for Battlestar Galactica and Caprica. I want to do those back to back. All right, let's do another race, and then I'm just gonna go to the race. Yeah, I want to skip qualifying. Where does it place me if I skip qualifying? Do I go dead last?
Monaco. Formula 2 has been welcomed back to this most famous of race locations, and the excitement in the air is building as we count down to the start of today's race. The Circuit de Monaco is, for all practical purposes, pretty much unchanged since its 1929 introduction. It's strange to
1929. Wow.
Let's look at the grid order for today's race. Now that we've
Yep, I am 22 out of 22, so this will be fun to try to get out of this. Add a little bit of additional. This race is chaos. Hard part is there's like no good way to get ahead in this race because everybody is so jam-packed and it's so tiny.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed.
And this is why you do qualifiers, so that you don't get stuck in last place. wonder if I can at least get 5th.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
And I'm a big believer in bumping walls, apparently. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get 5th place because I keep hitting all these walls. Well, maybe I will.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy. This is your final lap of the race.
If I could get a podium finish, that'd be great. Oh, you know what, buddy? Can I get that last place? I'm not gonna get it, am I? Oh! I got podium finish. Woo!
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
Coming back from 22nd.
Brilliant stuff from Dams today. What a superb victory. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency.
All right. Yeah, I don't.
Dams, another team with a huge amount of history based right in the... Anderson increases their championship lead. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
Today, I think I'll give it to the Trident driver. They pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was a pleasure to watch.
And now a look at the team standings. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Another team that excelled today was Dams, who make further progress up the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So I'm in the lead by a lot. That's good. All right. What do I got to get done? Do I need to get any work done? Probably Alright, got that. Alright, I'm gonna take a few minute AFK here for a bio, and then I will be back. All right. Let's see if Lotro is finished patching yet. Excuse me, because if it is, I want to switch over. Oh no, they're going to be down until 2 p.m. Eastern for the release of update 32.06. Okay. So no Lotro for me this morning. All right, well. Let's keep going. Definitely do the qualifier because I got screwed last time and had to go from 22nd place. All right. I'll be right back.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
The grid is all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, which are Anderson, Schumacher, and Yuki Tsunoda. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action, and until then, goodbye.
Chaotic morning.
Baku never. Let's take a look.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Now there's always that one dude who's gonna try to edge me out. Should be able to do good if we just take our time. Put some distance between me and the plebs.
work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
I forgot to plug my other phone in. I didn't
We're
grab it.
leading our teammate by 32.9 seconds.
I like this a little bit more. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be hitting walls with this mode. Gotta get used to the peripherals.
This is your final lap of the race.
I mean, is this really how racers race? Like, how the frack do you see anything with that thing right in front of you? That's kind of cool, though.
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
Brilliant stuff from...
All right, I think it's enough
Our
racing
drivers
for the
and-
day. We're gonna cap this part off.
And now, let's take a look at the driver's standings. Anderson increases their championship lead. And so, driver of the day then.
Get out to the main menu here to make sure we've saved the game. Menu, quit to main menu. Okay. Morning, Marcel. Good time zone, everybody. It's a good way to put it. Switch over to the Ascent. But before we do, I need to get my other phone and get it charging. I gotta get my air purifier unboxed and put into the office as well. Alright, well, I'm gonna get some work done here for a few minutes while I listen to this amazing music from the Ascent. It's not early morning. It's 7:30 here, Marcel. But technically, we haven't done daylight savings yet, so we're doing daylight savings in, I think, on Sunday night. Well, Saturday night, Sunday morning. So 2 more days, 3 more days, something like that. We'll be on daylight savings because we're still not at the moment. There we go. Alright, it's changed over. Yeah, it's different all around the world. The US did it like 2-3 weeks ago. I live in Mexico most of the time, so we do it at a different time as well. All right, what am I looking at? Today is 7:30. Let's see here. I know some stuff I got to get done today. Today's video is coming out. I do not have a video coming out at 11 today. I've got one at 2 p.m. Which means I may try to do my Hobbit video for this morning. I could play for about another hour probably, and then I need to do video production, and I gotta get to work on tabletop stuff because I gotta get the outline worked on more today. I gotta get all the artwork sorted out for the tabletop book and get everything ported over. Today, that's a good question. Let me look at my let me look at my notes, Marcel. So I'm basically going to be diving into the Hobbit because I just finished reading the Hobbit. Obviously, I read it years ago, many times, but I haven't read it in 20 years. So I just finished 2 nights ago, and I'm getting ready to start a new series here on YouTube, probably Mondays in Middle Earth, where every Monday we're going to be dissecting. Um, Maybe that's the video I'll do today, is the announcement about Mondays in Middle Earth. Um, Coming soon, coming next Monday. But I'm looking at The Hobbit. I just finished it, and I'm looking at a lot of the things that I didn't remember in The Hobbit. Like, it's been so long since I read it, like 20 years. There was things that I didn't remember in terms of the writing style being vastly different from The Lord of the Rings. But then I also had forgotten that there was, a 15-year gap between The Hobbit and The Fellowship of the Ring. So obviously the writing style changed a lot, and the idea of what he was writing changed a lot. So I'm going to be analyzing all of that stuff. So um, I got a Kindle Paperwhite, and one of the things that I was reading the night before last when I finished up The Hobbit was going through all of the. I have the. I forget which version I have here of The Lord of the Rings. I'm going to tell you here in a second. I have this complete edition. How do I get to... This is the Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. This one just has the notes on the 50th anniversary edition for the second. I was reading through all the notes for The Lord of the Rings, and it got me thinking about all the things I want to do, because I want to be analyzing as we lead up to the Rings of Power show, because I'm going to be continuing to do more analysis as we lead up to Rings of Power, so that I continue to make fun of the Rings of Power adaptation. Tom Shippey's Road to Middle Earth, yeah, that's a good book. The Hobbit was also my first novel. Obviously, the English is my first language, so I was also an 80s baby. I was 5 years old when I read The Hobbit. 1985. I was born in 1980. So, because I've done all those Rings of Power videos back in like February before we moved, it got me realizing that I hadn't read Lord of the Rings, The Silmarillion, The Hobbit in 20 plus years. So that's what I'm getting ready to do right now. I just finished The Hobbit. I'm starting the Fellowship of the Ring, and I'm going to be doing an analysis series, and I'm about to record the first episode today. But that's after we play some more games for a bit. And then I got to go work on my tabletop book, because our books are due out in June to be published. So I got to get, I finished draft 2.0 yesterday, and yesterday I spent about 6 hours on layout, and it's layout. All of April is layout. So I'm taking all the artwork from Chris and all the artwork from Nathan, getting that put into the tabletop setting rulebook, getting the first module put in there so that we've got all that put together. So that's my entire month of April. That starts today. Well, actually, it started yesterday. And then my brother and I have a live stream coming up on, I think, Sunday for the point and click game that we've got going on. And I got to start writing the second batch of quests and narrative. I'll be right back. Nice, Marcel. It might. The one thing I will say about Tom Shippey's work is that it's very adoring. It's very adoring. He does look at Tolkien's work with a critical eye, but it's with a respectful critical eye, as opposed to these new woke experts who are looking at it going, Tolkien was problematic. Tolkien was a racist. Tolkien wrote that the dwarves were like Jews, and blah, 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 putting all this allegory in there. And I love how the intro to the Fellowship of the Ring is Tolkien admonishing people all the way back in the, when it was published in the 50s, that he hated allegory, and he hated the fact that people were putting allegory into his books. It's a funny thing. So I don't have a lot of memories of Road to Middle Earth. I know I've read it at one point many years ago. I should probably reread it this summer, so maybe I'll sink my teeth into it at some point. Alright, now that I'm actually back, I need to check some stuff here. Alright, we got that stuff going on. Yeah, it's a good thing when people are willing to make those sorts of adjustments to their critical thinking as they get more information. Because that's what you should do. If you're a logical being, new information changes things. Alright, I think I was in the middle of getting ready to go into this, like, dungeon area. Yeah, up in there. Double check around here, see if there's any... Oh! Is that an elevator? Ooh, it totally is, but I'm not going down there. I need to go back. Stick to the mission, I think. This is a big place. Is that an automated turret? Oh man, there's robot corpses hanging from the top. Welcome to Tranquility Park. I'm thinking it's not so tranquil. Oh crap. Run! Oh my god, I'm gonna die here. I totally died. That was a boss. Oh, I wonder if I had saved recently. Probably not. Oh, yeah, it had saved for me. Kill the fulchromes. Well, that was one of the fulchromes. My grenades are not up, so... Oh, lag or something there. Oh, they're totally not going to chase me out. Oh, I'm stuck! Okay, I got one of those guys down. Those guys are tough. Alright, I got two of those guys down. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, you know what? Before we get any further, we're gonna level up. Aiming. Vital signs and evasion. Get all those to 3. That's energy, it looks like. Alright, see you, Marcel. Thanks for hanging out. Man, I hate getting stuck on that right there. Come back here, pansies. Frag grenade. I still got some more of those boss guys that I need to get. Oh, he chucked a grenade at me. I wasn't ready for that. Oh, I gotta get away from that. Have I saved? Can I save right now? I have no health. And they're coming for me. Ah! I don't think I'd saved before I went into the building, so I probably have to redo that whole section. If I do, yeah, that's my cutoff point this morning, everybody. I gotta get some work done, and that's not. This game needs more autosave options, for sure. All right, so for those of you who come out hanging out today, thank you so much for being here. Got a lot to go down today. We do have a video coming out today at 2 p.m., but I'm going to record my Hobbit video for now and the announcement of the Mondays in Mondays in Middle Earth series and my analysis of the Hobbit. So stay tuned for all that stuff. What else? I think that's it for the moment. Stick around. Don't forget to subscribe. Join our Discord. Links are down below. We play Lord of the Rings online Thursdays, Fridays, Saturday nights at Central Time, and Saturday and Sunday mornings to join with our European friends. We're on the Laurelin server if you want to play Lord of the Rings online with us. If you want to support the channel, you can join as a member, or better yet, join over on patreon.com/Wandering Hermits, because you get a lot of cool perks from that world map behind me, the world of the Weave and the Void, which I'm building alongside my brother and my wife. The Wandering Hermits are the three of us. We also have Nathan Napalm doing character art for us. Tabletop books are due out in June. We got a Kickstarter for the hardback books coming out in July. We got a point-and-click adventure game, and of course the book chapters, which are being published twice a month over on that Patreon page. So if you like that kind of stuff, if you like high fantasy, Dragonlance, King's Quest, Quest for Glory, old games like that, tabletop Dungeons and Dragons, you'll love this. Check it out. See you next time, everybody, tomorrow morning.